This is Ellie Martinez, an 11-year-old model from Mississippi. I discovered her profile back in 2018 at the peak of my Instagram deep dive. The fact I'd even clicked on her profile in the first place still surprises me, actually. Her profile is nearly indistinguishable from the other thousands of profiles in this group focused on dancing or modeling. Her interest and involvement in this group of young athletes and models is obvious, and is evidenced by a number of details. Her modeling skills were put on display in Wild Child magazine, which is a prominent magazine mentioned on the pages of the many child models I looked into. She follows and is followed by almost all of the most popular young athletes and models in this subculture too, including even the merchandise companies themselves. Even though Ellie's profile at first almost eluded me just due to how identical it looked to the thousands of other mundane little kid accounts my eyes are almost dry from looking at, it wasn't until I took a closer look that I realized that she actually did not fit in as neatly as I initially thought, and in fact stood out as being vulnerable to exploitation for exactly the same reasons I outlined just a few moments ago. I provided a bulleted list of common themes among each of these young athletes' profiles and wondered whether or not we could identify potentially suspicious profiles based on the absence of some of those themes. Ellie's account was my first exercise in determining whether or not this formula would actually work. In Ellie's case, it turned out none of that was really needed in the first place. The reason none of those details were needed to recognize the potential for a bad situation was because the name of the agency she models for is called Mile High Model Management. Naming your child modeling agency after a slang term for sex on an airplane is troublesome. An examination of her images only makes things worse, too, as they seem to feature dozens of posts that are over-sexualized and rife with sexual comments made by adults. Her profile is also mom-monitored, or is supposed to be, I guess. Despite that, the comments on her page aren't restricted. Sexual comments left on almost all of her pictures remain visible to this day, having never been removed by her mother, who's supposed to be monitoring this thing. There's also images of Ellie on both her Instagram and the agency's Facebook page that show her and another young model embarking on a multi-state modeling tour. I'd have to imagine it was quite an exciting prospect for an 11-year-old at the time, but to me, all I see are adults crossing state lines with underage kids. For most people, the name of the agency by itself would have been enough of a red flag to have their minds made up as to what the nature of this company's operations are. For me though, it was the combination of the company's name, as well as its production value, or lack thereof, of the agency's photo shoots that really solidified my suspicions, oddly enough. Take a look at these images here as examples. The backdrop to many of Ellie's shoots seem to be merely wrinkled bedsheets, lending the impression that the shoot is happening in some creepy man's bedroom. Now, I'm no professional photographer, and maybe I'm a little neurotic, but not to take the 5 minutes that's required to iron out a few wrinkles for your model's backdrop so your photo shoot comes out looking amazing and lends some reputation points to your new modeling agency upstart, for some reason reminds me of the front companies you'd see in movies. It was then that I had to remind myself that this is to be expected. I mean, after all, it was a literal fucking shell company that brought me here to begin with, right? A fair researcher may at first be tempted to chalk all of this up to a little girl given an iPhone, limited supervision, and infinite access to the entirety of the internet to do as she wishes with all of it. This excuse becomes flimsy though when you discover that it isn't like Ellie's mother is absent or completely uninvolved with her account. For instance, here's a post made by Ellie's mother politely asking the internet pedophiles to stop sending pictures of their dick to her 11-year-old child. I tried to be fair. Guess I'm left with no other choice other than to find out who the creep is that made this stupid innuendo of a modeling agency to begin with. So I went to Google, and I simply typed in Izzy Evans Mile High Model Agency. And I clicked the first link, which is Mile High Models is with Izzy Evans on Facebook. Looks like it brings me to the official Mile High Models Facebook page. This can be confirmed for the simple fact that their photos features Ellie Martinez, the model that we're going to be taking a look at today. So we go ahead and click on Izzy Evans, and it brings us to what looks to be the founder of Mile High Model Management. Izzy Evans, owner of Mile High Models, discovering inspired models. Stop dreaming and make it a reality. However, it doesn't really take long for you to become suspicious of old Izzy here. For instance, March 2nd, 2019, he made this post: "Attention, beware, there is someone that is imitating Mile High Model management, and I'm not sure if they are truly trying to imitate us or not, but they are requesting sick stuff from young children. Keep in mind, our emails are always sent from our domain name and never from a server like ProntoMail. We never deal with children without talking with the parents first. If you want to know of something legitimately from our agency, please inbox us and we will be happy to let you know if it is or is not legitimate. Izzy Evans, Mile High Model Management." Well, that's not very suspicious or concerning at all. And then what I did was go to Instagram and followed it up with a basic search for Izzy Evans' Instagram profile, which of course is called Ishmael Shots. As you can see, Ishmael Shots, Izzy Evans. Izzy Evans, published photographer, fashion, print, editorial. Need headshots done? Email magnoliaphotography662@gmail.com. And as you can see, he's posting images of his models. And there is old Izzy Evans. "Had a blast working with Hazelhook 96 today. I look forward to working with this model again in the future." It's also an image of Izzy here with a Semper Fi United States Marines hat. Could he possibly be a former Marine? The description says, "Hey, this is Izzy Evans. I would love to work with you if you're an inspired model looking to update your portfolio. Let's have some fresh images for the new year." And he uploaded some videos too with one of his models.
"Hey, this is Izzy Evans. I just wanted to let y'all know we just finished up a photo shoot with Ivanka Melkovich. Okay, and I just want to say it was a fun day, even though Ivanka, she was a real champ today in this freezing cold weather, so make sure you look for some of her newest images coming out soon. All right, thank you very much."
Seemed to be a cold day that day, because old Izzy says, "What a champ. This 17-year-old was in the cold today for over 3 hours modeling today. Thanks for yet another fantastic shoot," at Ivanka Milkovich, which of course is one of his child models. And once again, you can see he's wearing yet another United States Marine Corps hat.
Hey everybody, this is Izzy Evans here. I want to say good morning, and I also want to say thank you to all the followers who follow me on my Instagram page. I reached my first 100 likes, and I hope to reach many, many more. Please, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, as well as on Model Review. I can't say anything other than thank you very much for following me. And if there's ever, any particular theme you would like to see, please make sure that you inbox me and let me know some of your thoughts. All right. Thank you very much again. Thank you for all the followers. I appreciate it. I hope to see you, your comments on the page when it comes to my work. Thank you very much.
He hopes to see the comments on the page regarding his work with photographing young girls, children. After I looked into Izzy Evans, the founder of Mile High Models, I continued to look into Ellie Martinez, and things only got weirder, more suspicious the more I looked into her. And that research inevitably brought me to this image here. It's an image of just plain text uploaded by Ellie Martinez's mother. It reads as follows: "As most of you are aware already, Ellie Martinez has started her modeling tour with scheduled stops in certain states. Ellie visited Texas, where she was booked with a photographer, and the shoot was very successful and had fun. The photographer had an awesome time working with Ellie and has expressed about working with Ellie again. The next, as we are about to leave the hotel, 3 individuals called the local police with concerns about Ellie. Law enforcement believes that Ellie was being human trafficked by her mom as well as her management, which is a bogus accusation and groundless."
This is Izzy Evans. I just wanted to let y'all know we just finished up a photo shoot with Ivanka Melkovich. Hey everybody, this is Izzy Evans here. I want to say good morning, and I also want to say thank you to all the followers who follow me on my Instagram page.